tuned into the show
that informs, improves, and inspires racers everywhere.
The Northwest Race Report. The Northwest Race Report, brought to you in part by True Tech Automotive, Vancouver, Washington, home of the In the Family Racer Discount, and by Scott Seal Coat and Striping. For over 25 years, whether it's sealing or striping, you can count on Scott. And by Product41.com. The Northwest Race Report is heard exclusively at TerryBridgesRacing.com. And now back to your horsepower and performance hosts, Terry Bridges, Glenn Tower, and Jeff Eden. Oh, what is going on, racers? Welcome to another edition of the Northwest Race Report. I'm your horsepower and performance host, Terry Bridges. And sitting in with me is my main man, Mr. Glenn Lippi Tower. What's going on, Lippi?
It's all good in the hood tonight.
And back from his sickness, the loader. Got his 41 shirt on. Mr. Jeff Eden. What's going on, Jeffrey?
Oh, just like to thank Double M for coming up and hanging out for me.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool having him. Yeah, it was cool having him. Wow. What a weekend.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on.
Boy, I guess. I mean, from Daytona to Salem to who knows what, right? I mean, good Lord almighty. Yeah.
Ronnie Swires, P1 tonight. Sean Halbert coming in number 2, and Dan Watkins, number 3.
Sean Carr in the 360, number 4. Rusty
Swires must have finally got up from his nap then.
Rusty King 5. Yeah, 5. Chisholm 6. Dustin Stevenson 7th. So, hey, we got a good show for you tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about officiating and kind of how they do it other places. It's a lot different than you think. It's kind of interesting, actually. The loaders got some big race information coming up, some schedules and times and some cool stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna hit the tracks up this way, and then next week we're gonna hit the ones down in Oregon.
Yeah, and Lippi's got some cool, some more real world truths.
Yeah, I'm a little bit left of my rant that I was on last week, and then I'm done with it.
Right on, right on. So yeah, how's the week been? Everybody back up to par, though?
Doing good.
100%?
Oh, yeah.
Or 99?
99.9.
Yeah. Lip?
I'm feeling lazy. I had my week scheduled for an HOA to clean roofs. I had like 12 or 14 roofs to clean, but I can't do it in this stuff.
No, you can't. How about the snow?
I know it. Some of them are third story, so I'm off the rest of the week.
Look who's in 8th spot.
Bringing it home.
Mr. Scott Keeney.
Pirouette King.
Boy, I know. And here's what somebody said. He was out after he
Yep, he was. Knocked him out.
Wow, that's a pretty good lick right there.
He went in for an MRI. Thankfully, they didn't find anything.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
hold it. They didn't find anything wrong.
Wow, they didn't find anything.
Yeah. Well, he admittedly says there's not much in there. But no, we're glad he's all right. But
very glad.
You know, and I gotta say that there's been a lot of talk about, can I see the tape? What happened? Who did it? Whatever. And so because Skeeter thought he did it, right? He said he goes, but I don't remember him. And I look at my left front corner and there's nothing, there. And I mean, he was sick about it, right? And I mean, that is a good thing, but yet, anybody that knows Skeeter Phillips knows he didn't do that on purpose, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
for
just,
sure.
That just goes without saying. But, and at that point, does it really matter? I mean, who did it? I mean, and that's kind of what we're gonna talk about in this part on officiating, because I think there's a fine line there, and that we're walking, and I think as these things continue to get faster and faster and more competitive, it's something that I think people are gonna have to look at, At least up, in the higher elevations.
Scott says no, it's racing.
No, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying, though? Where we got to, it just can't be, oh, yeah, here's a flag. You're on the corner. Yeah, wave it if somebody spins out. I mean,
yeah.
It's got to be more than that now.
Your corner workers have to be trained. I believe in it. Just have to.
Yeah, I agree.
And they have to make sure that they're paying attention to their corner.
Exactly. And so we're going to get into that after we get through with just a couple of our results. We don't have a whole lot. We got but I do want to give a big shout out to Matt Strebe. For all the stats and stuff, man. He's our official stat guy, and he helped us out so much. So appreciate Matt Strebe very much for doing all he does as far as getting all the results and stuff handled.
Ernie Commers in that.
Oh, yeah. Is that guy doing something good? Boy, we're going to get into that, too. I mean, that is really a slick deal. It's going to be super cool. So we'll get into that, too. But first of all, let's get into our Winner Circle Wednesday, brought to you by Tees and Tops.
It's time for Winner Circle Wednesday, brought to you by Tees and Tops.
Hey, if you guys are looking for T-shirts, Matt Fontaine is your guy, Tees and Tops. Be sure you get a hold of him on Facebook. What'd you hear about Salem?
Nothing but good stuff.
Nothing but good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Was that what you were looking for?
No, I was just curious. Did you hear anything?
No.
No?
Other than good stuff. It looked like some good racing.
It was some good racing. The 206 guys are killing it.
Oh, those guys are great. I hope they carry over
Right?
this summer.
I mean,
Such a good class.
Yeah. Jason said, I didn't realize there was that many, but I think he said there was 60.
Wow.
With all the late entries. So normally after BK, it's like a ghost town.
Yes, it is.
So props to everybody for that. I mean, that is super, super, super cool.
I think it was a combination, though, of Jason being better planned and the racers being more equipped, because generally it's 2 weeks after that we have our next race, which is just too soon for everybody. And I think he held it off a little bit longer after the BK, which really paid off. It was a good deal.
I didn't think of that, but that is a very good point.
Yeah, and I think he's only had 2 races after the BK weekend, which stretched out enough. They'll get a good turnout.
Yeah, that's super good. UAS went to Justin Beard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was fast. That thing they found something on it because it was working. I mean, through the corner, it was unbelievably good.
Well, he was the number 1 qualifier down there. He just needed to work on some stuff, and he found it.
Yep, and he's not a bad wheel. He's showing some good signs. I mean, here's the guy that I thought was impressive. I mean, in the first couple heat races he struggled, but Chris Worley figures it out for the main, and man, that thing's a beast.
Yeah.
Once he gets some fine tune on that thing, he's gonna be right there.
He's on here tonight, and it's glad to see him down there again. He's a traveler, and he made the travel over with the Van Damley and put it on.
Yeah, he rolled in the I was like, wow, he made some adjustments because, in the heat race it was kind of but, ooh, baby. Coming out. Tricky Ricky was 3rd. Ricky Worley. Kravitz was 4th. Not too bad. I mean, that was a...
They're still chasing it. They're finding it.
Yeah. I mean, and then you're gonna for a while. 206 Heavy went to Hatch. Is that a surprise? Not really.
He's a contender.
Yeah, he runs pretty good. Corey Markham, Kellen Dean, Brandon Rutledge, Greg Normandin.
Kellen Dean, good job.
Yeah. 206 Light went to Corey Markham. Here's a guy, a brand new guy. He was driving for Product 41 in the Arrive and Drive, and his name was Eric Blois. And dude was killing. I mean, he ran really, really good. I was impressed. He had never done any oval stuff, whatever. And so he jumped in that thing. Man, oh man, he was killer. So that's a testament, I think, to the equipment.
Yeah, Product 41.
Right? I mean, that stuff, it doesn't matter who gets in it.
Yeah, Product 41's fast.
Haven't got my fat butt in it.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I haven't been in it yet, but, hey, I probably wouldn't get in it because I'd be sure enough to be the guy that makes it, look bad. But
Yeah, it would be us.
Yeah.
There's Swire's going out of here.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah. Oh no, he was hurt. But no, seriously, I mean, those guys have got it going on.
Yeah, definitely.
And for them to do what they've done in the first year, I mean, normally it takes teams well over a year to gel and get things all working and going together. These guys have done it in, less than a half a season. I mean,
but Ronnie has the right people.
Yeah,
he got the right people to work with him.
Well, sure,
and that's huge.
That definitely helps. But there's still that, you don't know that just because they're all good. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a sweet gelling thing. But nonetheless, fantastic job to those guys. It must have been well planned out, well thought out, well. The proof's in the pudding, right? I mean,
well, and obviously the guy had some talent too. So
he was that he could wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. I think he did some road race stuff. So, but it's exposure like he wanted, right? That's what Ronnie said. He says, I want to expose some guys that maybe wouldn't normally come do this or try this and
have the opportunity.
Boy, yeah. But of course, nobody's getting one of them because I think Kellen Dean bought it for the whole. He bought it for the whole rest of the year, so he's in it again at the last one. So,
he's liking that.
You bet he is. Well, I'm sure he's liking the fact that you come in and they treat you like a superstar. You don't touch the car. Basically, they're there, they're on it, they're doing it. I mean, it's a really one of the few places that you should just bring your helmet, show up, and drive. Right? I mean, so that's got to be pretty nice.
It's a great program.
Yeah. Mike Vickers was third. Nate King, another one.
Oh, nice.
Steve King's son. He's doing a good job. I mean, fourth. I mean, he was pretty solid. Lori Fuller, fifth. She did really good.
Oh, glad to hear she's back out there making laps.
Yeah, she was pretty aggressive. I mean, what do you say? KT Heavy. Well, what do you say? There was between Keeney, who he was second. Foul got turned, and I mean it bent the rear rail up an inch and screwed up a wheel, and
it's one of the more aggressive classes out there. There's no doubt about that. The two strokes, it's not like the 206s. The 206s are pretty much all momentum, and the KT class isn't that. It's you can make a mistake and still save your spot or still, stay in line because there is a bit of horsepower under you, and it is very spontaneous. But having said that, that's also what gets, things like this to happen. It's the innocent crossover behind the guy. Somebody gets on the gas a little too soon, and bang, you hang a bumper, and somebody goes around you really didn't intend to. It's just it's
tough, I mean,
racing. I've been on both sides of that deal, and nobody likes to do it, and nobody likes it done to you. So, you just have to, chalk it up as, better luck next time.
Yeah, I mean, well, that comes in our next segment, so we'll talk about that. Michelson was second. He ran good. He looked good. Chuck Jones. Yeah, the Waldorado. That thing's sweet looking.
Yeah.
Chuck Jones was there, and as always, that guy arrives and he drives. I mean, the wheel's off. I mean, he doesn't matter. Really doesn't seem to matter what he gets in. When he's there, he rolls it. Brandon Day, current new, with everything the way it shakes down. I don't think it's by much, but I think he's the new point leader in KT Heavy. So, well,
he deserves it. I've ran against him quite often, and he is a wheel. He has good days and bad days, but on the average, most of them are good.
And that's exactly what Fowl said. He says, I'm not upset about, Brandon Day. Hey, he's a good guy. He's a good wheel. He's a good driver. And if I lose it to him, well, that's, the more power to Brandon Day. So that's cool. Kravitz was fifth. So Phillips, Carissa Prue, Fowl, and Keeney all DNF'd. Angel wins light as well.
fast. I heard she was testing her new kart.
Yeah, that Gannon. Yeah, and I believe it was her Gannon. Yep. And so when Angel, Sucic, and Eicher, I'm not sure that whole Sucic Eicher thing, right? I mean, there's some. I'm not sure what it is, but it was better this weekend for sure.
Oh, good.
So hopefully that gets. I want those two girls just to go race, right? It's not a wham bam deal, and so that's where I'm at with it. It's because they're both really good people, good drivers. So Predators, Austin Henderson wins it. Don Waters, Tony Andreas, Clay Debin, and Brendan Gregg. They let Brendan Gregg over. We were laughing, right? Because we go over there and we're looking at this cart, and there's lead all over it. I mean, everywhere. Anywhere there was an open spot, there was a chunk of lead. I mean, it was like little white pieces of lead all over this thing, right? But he got to run in the Predators. And he was running really good. He just got out of line and got freight trained. But that's good experience for him, right? To race against the older guys that kind of have some wit to them, I guess. Super Sport Heavy. Yeah, go ahead.
Time out. Clark Family Racing. That's the Clark Family Austin. Because he works at True Tech.
Yes, he does.
So and as they put it, he's a darn good kid.
Awesome. He is a good kid. I've talked to him. He came up and talked to me, and nice kid.
Did he
finally
tell you knew his dad?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a super good kid, and he can wheel it.
Yeah,
I mean, he can wheel it. Super Sport 200. Ty Easton was a madman. I mean, it was lights out, gone. Mark Wooten, Wade Bauman, and Dave Wooten. And that wrapped it up. It was cool. My birthday, you guys, it was just ridiculously cool. I mean, Michelson's dad gave me the cool, I hope you guys saw it on Facebook, but he gave me the cool LED NWR thing.
It's mood lighting in here tonight.
But Mrs. Michelson made chocolate cake. Swires had barbecued pulled pork. It was just all the wishes and hugs and cool stuff. It was just super, super awesome. Couldn't ask for, and I'm looking at my card thing, and I had almost 500 wishes on my Facebook thing for a birthday. I mean, it was just out of sight.
God, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I know. Well, it would have been $4.99 then. Okay, right. But no, it was just super cool. So thanks everybody for making my birthday just super awesome, because it was really nice.
I got to work on that super awesome. My wife says tomorrow.
Ooh.
You better get busy.
Yeah. Do you need to be excused?
No.
Oh, okay. Heck, there's still 12 hours left?
At least 12 hours left.
Pork.
Oh, wow. They're wobbling. They haven't gone yet, guys, but they're wobbling. So, and then I had, from Strebe Speedway, I got some more results from...
the barn?
The barn. Sanders Barn Burner. Stock of pairing went to Richie Goulart, Kyle Labrie, and Greg DeMaria in the main. Junior flat cart. Sorry, Ronnie. Connor Cruz, Elizabeth Porter, and Emily Van Hoff. Pure stock. Phil Goulart, Nick Lawrence, Jordan Micklet. All righty. And in the clones, they had 23 of these bad boys. Anthony Silva, Shane Wiggins, and Rick Zanin were the 1, 2, 3 in the B main. And then the A main was Mitch Cornelius, Al Garoso Jr., Don Heiser, Logan Clay, Buddy Shelton, and Thomas Heiser. That's it. Sanders' next event is the 24th, so that's next weekend. And again on the 3rd of March. Salem Speedway Championships are March 17th. And the Shamrock Shootout. Strebe Speedway number 2 is going to be at Salem. The Shamrock Shootout. So
nice. BLG in the house.
Brian Esquinia.
Angel showed up.
Yeah. Is she here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right on. Renee. Are on the phone. Now I'm a lap down. Yeah. So
See, she lost all her hair, too.
she did? Did she get a haircut?
Yeah, she's got a haircut. And then somebody says, was that a weight or
Weight reduction?
Yeah, Rusty wouldn't know it was weight reduction.
Wow. Well, that's into it there, right there, guys. Oh, and I got this in the mail,
You
too.
did. I'm
Yeah.
so jealous.
Yeah, I see this box on my porch.
UCR.
I open it up, and I'm like, what is this? You know, and
UCR in the house.
yeah, Uncle Chuck sends me a UCR switcher. It's like, tight. I got it on tonight, and
He's
got my
representing.
product41.com baseball cap on, and
Well, I
So-
got my 41 sweatshirt. but
yeah,
it's
there you.
Dominic sells it.
Yeah, but you see the 41. Lippi's got a CKA. And yeah, we're rolling tonight.
I'm
so
rocking the NWRR hat, though.
heck yeah, baby. Heck yeah. Well, we'll be back, and we're going to start our segments after that. You'll want to hear a couple of these. I think they're going to be pretty good. So don't go anywhere.
You check your shop list, you check off things on your racing to-do list, and you constantly check your micron at the racetrack. But what about when that little check engine light comes on in your car, truck, or tow vehicle? Do you check that or just ignore it? Most can't be bothered, but there is nothing worse than breaking down on the way to a big race or vacation getaway. It's time to start treating and checking your car, truck, or tow rig the right way with a visit to True Tech Automotive for a preventative maintenance service before it costs you more than that big race or vacation getaway you're looking forward to. With 10 service bays, Napa certified car care technicians, along with award-winning customer service, TrueTech gives you one less thing you have to check.
Get it done right the first time with the right parts at the right price. And how's this for right? Use the discount code NWRR and receive TrueTech's In the Family Racer discount of 25% off all preventative maintenance and vehicle repairs. Just another way, TrueTech has been helping their customers keep their vehicles in check since 2008. TrueTech Automotive, 6900 Highway 99, Suite A, Vancouver, Washington. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. 360-571-2302. Racer. Word Racing now has a brand new location in Clackamas, Oregon at 15648 Southeast 114th Avenue, Suite 110, next to Highway 212 and conveniently located close to the I-205 freeway. They have what you need to race fast and race safe with product lines like ZAMP, Z-Tech, Pyrotech, GripTech, Armadillo, and the 360 Plus device. And that's not all. Chains, wheels, tires, lubricants, and the Northwest distributor for the innovative and made-in-America iCart chassis and a new X125 engine. New or used, arrive and drive, coaching and tuning. Word Racing's got you covered from start to finish. You're winning trackside support since 2007. For more information, call 503-869-4970 or check them out on Facebook and on the web at wordracing.com. Hey, we're back, and I guess I'll kick off since we got the Titan Tim Lawrence going to be calling us at about 15 after. So we're going to talk to Tim and have you guys get to know Tim Lawrence a little bit. He's a great guy.
He's a very good guy. So is JP Karting showing up tonight.
Oh,
Along
down in
with
the house, baby.
Fuller showing up as well.
Oh, she said I was talking to my tire guy. Oh, yeah. All right, so with you know, and I'm not saying anything on this. I'm just saying I just think this is something I've said many times, more than just once, but officiating. Having done some myself, I know how difficult it is. But it's even more difficult when you don't have the tools really to do it, right? I mean, within reason. I mean, I've always said a lot of times I go to these drivers' meeting and it's always the same old, you know, oh yeah, here we go, you know, blah, blah. You know, instead of taking that time, maybe somebody else should be over there with the corner workers, you know, maybe coaching them and say, okay, hey guys, here it is. This is real important. I mean, I know you think you're just on a corner, but you need to be paying attention. Here's your area. Here's where we'd like you to look. Here's where you're really going to be specifically maybe asked questions, right? So say you're working turn 2, so you've got the middle of 1 and to the center of maybe the backstretch, and then turn 4 and so on and so forth. because it is important. I mean, I think that, especially if you're going to rely on them to say, hey, what did you see? I just maybe think we need to equip these guys with some more tools. I mean, even if nothing else, to let them know that, hey, what you're doing is super important. I mean,
I agree. And more, I mean, the last year for us out at ORV, I put headsets on both my corner workers, and I lean on them often. What did you see? What was it? What did it look like? Did you see this? Did you see that? So,
right.
That's the way it should be.
Right. So I was just looking around and, doing some checking, and I'm going to tell you, this is over in Australia, but I look at this, and I only did part of it because it was like a whole ton of stuff, but they've got little booklets. They've got an officials booklet. They've got a judges of fact booklet. It goes down 3 or 4 booklets. They're very official looking. They look like a small rule book. And they've got an introduction. It says risk management they talk about. They've got the officials code of conduct. So I won't read the whole thing, but it says the code of ethics, you're supposed to place safety and welfare above all else, account responsibility for all actions taken, be impartial, avoid any situation that may lead to a conflict of interest, be courteous, respectful, and open to interaction, be a positive role model in behavior and personal appearance, seek continual self-improvement through training, performance, appraisal, and regular updating of competencies. Maintain equal opportunity and harassment-free sport practices, and maintain the privacy and confidentiality of competitors as required. That's just one. That's just the first part. The code of conduct, professionalism, good sportsmanship, honesty and integrity, compliance to the law, consideration of event organizers and promoters, compliance with the venue rules, compliance with the health and safety. Is that me?
Not me.
That's mine.
And respectful and intellectual property, exercise common sense. So, I don't know. It's just kind of, I'm just looking at this and I'm going, my goodness, this is pretty intense stuff. A trainee official, a general official, a club chief official, a state official, and a national official. Those are all the levels of grading that they have in this thing. They have to be licensed. Now, I know. The guys are probably saying, yeah, but who's going to do that? Whatever. I think it's important. And I don't see that this is really that far-fetched. Do you?
Well, drag racing is, to be a techner, anybody within the tech department, you have the rule book plus NHRA. If you're going to work for them, you actually do a test on the rules. So,
really?
Yes.
So then really this isn't
No.
far-fetched at all.
No.
Quarter midgets is kind of the same way. I mean, they have judges.
They do have yes.
officials. They have, and everybody rotates. So
yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at this. It's pretty intense. So if anybody's interested, I'll give you the website, and you can check it out. But it's they've got judges of fact. It says at any race, the appointed positions of grid marshal, starter, scales marshal, chief timing operator, lap scorer, chief scrutineer, fuel tester, noise control marshal, plus any other positions specifically listed in the supplementary regulations for the meeting are empowered to decide a given fact as described in the manual relative to their appointment. For this reason, it is essential that these positions only be filled by an appointee with a suitable endorsed official's licensed. So, my goodness. And they tell you what the grid marshal's supposed to do. They tell you the starters and chief lap score and there's everything. Scales marshal, noise marshal, fuel tester, chief scrutineer. I mean, tell me.
I'm not going to poo-poo any of this at all by any means, but I just have to say they've got more people for officials than I have people show up for races. So just having said that, I know we need it. I know that it is very helpful, but they've obviously got a large resource pool to pull from over there because we got 5 people.
Right. I totally get that.
But it's still,
But a guy can take what this is and maybe scale it down, whatever. Like I said, I'm not saying that we've got 3,000 guys and we do it, but I'm talking maybe more in the line of the big UAS stuff, right? The big high pro stuff, the big national stuff. They bring these guys in, and they should be very well versed on this stuff, and you can't have clowns working it up at that stage of the deal, And
I think there's a lot in there we can glom onto. I think that it's and I've never done this before, and I think it's a great idea that you should have a talk with your corner workers. This is what is expected of you, and this is what you don't have to do. Because you think about it, there's a lot going on. So okay, berm boy comes around the corner and gets hung up on the berm, so all of a sudden your whole thing is to get this guy off the berm, but that's really not your whole thing because we still got a race going on. There's still karts on the track. You have to be watching out what's going on with that. You have to be trying to get this guy off the berm. You have to, know what's happening with the race. Has it gone yellow? Has it not gone yellow yet? There's
and what's the rule? Is the guy on the berm, is he supposed to touch it?
Exactly.
There's that deal too. Yeah, so he's running over to do the berm, and meanwhile, he leaves his area wide open, and there's a big mess there. You're looking over here because you're trying to get the beginning of all this, so you see the entire thing happen, and you're saying, hey, what did you see over there? Oh, I didn't see anything. I was trying to get this guy off the berm.
Exactly. So, this is good stuff. It's stuff we should be thinking about. It's stuff we should be, talking about before the races start with the people that do decide to volunteer.
And that's where I'm kind of at with it, Lip, is I'm not saying that, it sure wouldn't hurt to make it more professional, but I'm getting at the point of take these guys, instead of them standing there at the driver's meeting, they should be over at their own little area saying, okay, guys, here's what's up. Here's what we expect. Here's what we're hoping to do. Here's what we're, how we're going to ask you. This is what you need to be looking for. Boom. I don't know. It's just something I think all the time, it's like when most of the time, at least I know in a lot of sports, you always see the retaliation. You don't see what started. And so they talk about seeing the whole play. And so you don't see what's happened here, but you see the mess over here because of the retaliation. So this guy gets punished. The other guy who probably really deserved it and caused it doesn't get anything.
Scot-free. And
that's where it's kind of wrong. So... And guys didn't see all that, so they guess and they just assume. And, if you didn't see it and you can't 100% say what went, you shouldn't call anything.
Yep, I agree.
Because that's guessing. And that's, if you got to guess, that's just not right.
That was our whole point of putting six headsets on people's heads is you have more people. What did you see? Who saw what? And, if you saw it, speak up. If you didn't, then say you didn't or don't say anything.
Right. There was 2 hits this weekend. Pretty, that got in. Well, nobody saw anything.
Yeah.
Both times. So, I don't know. I didn't see it. Well, I don't know. Well, there's where... But there again, that was a question I had. So, okay, say you did see it. Say you did see it. How do you justify taking somebody and putting them in the back when you you know what I mean? I guess I've always just kind of thought, well, usually it's fairly blatant. The guy's mad or whatever the case is, right? Mm-hmm. Or it's just pure bonehead. But when it's, close quarters and there's no intent, there's no really anything, not even bonehead. It's just happening. How do you see the hit, but do you say anything? I don't know. That's where it's.
I think as an official, you have that obligation. You have the obligation, if you saw it, to say what you saw. And, this goes back to what I said last week, and Jeff, before the show, responded with it. It's integrity. When I do something wrong and it doesn't get caught, I still own up to it because I know I did it. So, a lot of times I'll put myself to the back of the pack because I know that, I did that. So, but a lot of people don't do that. They just chalk it up as, well, he shouldn't have been there, or she shouldn't have been there. Whoever it was shouldn't have been wherever they were. So, integrity is a big deal that's just, kind of put to the backside because it's race weekend.
Yeah. So, yeah. But again, I guess that kind of opened up my thing to say, well, the racers deserve, a really good job of that. There's for some of them, it's a big deal. It's like, what do the guys say? It's always somebody's Daytona 500, right? So, and that's true to a point. They're paying money to get in there. If there's going to be calls made, good, bad, or you hopefully you want good stuff. So, and I think yeah. He said, was it respect? Is that what you said? Yeah. A lot of that goes a long ways too, right?
But it's just, I'll put out that figure we were talking about. At Daytona, for all the races with from the Clash to the Twin 125s, the Truck, the Infinity, and the 500, there was 169 cars there.
169.
169. 99 of them left trashed.
Yeah. That's just not good.
Jimmy Johnson didn't even have a car left. He wrecked a car in every race he was in, or was involved in a wreck.
Just not.
They
good.
said that there was 2 cars out of the Hendrick stable and then were the 2 that ran up front in the qualifiers.
Oh, the Clash?
No, not the Clash. The Twin 125s.
Oh, okay.
They were the only 2 cars that went back in the trailer and rolled into the trailer. Insanely expensive weekend.
So what do you attribute that to?
Part of it I attribute it to restrictor plate racing. I just don't like it. It breeds this stuff.
Why though?
Because if you let one guy, it's just like the end of the race. They let old Amarola get out away from them. Here they come with a push. You got 10 cars pushing one to one that's by himself. He's a duck. He's got nothing he can do.
Except roll up and block.
And you block, you look at it, you go back and I didn't watch any of it but the very last 10 laps. But in the segment deal, they had blocking crashes. It was ridiculous. So,
and that happens, and we see that a lot in our stuff. You go to the cage cart deal. You go sometimes even. Well, it wasn't quite that bad, but even BK a little bit was. We had like 6 or 7 cautions in a matter of. I didn't even think there was 10 laps in there.
No, there wasn't 10. Then they got out and they started running.
Right. So I don't know. It's
You know what though? I got something here that's pretty feel good.
Okay, what?
Chance Crum. You know who Chance is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chance's race schedule this year. This is pretty damn cool. Starts out the year in a 360 for Doug Roots. And they're going to race down in California, and they're going to race all of the sprint tour races up here for Beitler. And then he's going to Evergreen to climb in a super late model because Tanner Holm ain't going to be there, so he's going to get in Tanner's ride.
Oh, you mean
Chance is going to drive
Tanner's
car?
Wow, Tyler Tanner. Woo, wow,
I'm just with, And then the cool part about the deal with the going to Evergreen, that his grandpa and his dad had both raced at Evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
So now he'll have his shingle up at Evergreen. And then of course, he'll be doing his midget, his micro, his 600 micro up at Deming. And they're this year for that race, it's like $10,000 to win on that.
Yeah.
Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going back to Indiana to run a USAC National Midget Speed Week for a guy.
Yeah, see, that's, and people say you gotta go run pro and whatever like that. You know what? I would much rather. I mean, you can, personally, in my opinion, you can have the NASCAR stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a stock car guy through and through and through and through, but that it doesn't excite me. It doesn't.
But when I seen this pop up the other day on Facebook, it was
that's cool.
It is. It's a young man that has. Well, last year was his first year into a 360, and he did really, really well.
Yeah, he's a shoe, on top of it, right? But
God, think about
who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah,
that's the way I would want to go race.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're going to look at the exposure that's going to get. I mean,
and just think what that, because see, he's roommates with Tristan.
Hayden, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's been after Tristan to let him drive his late model and on a practice night. Well, now
he's got a good one, yeah. Well, and it was Tyler Tanner, is he hurt or
no? He said he was going to be gone for that race, so they're putting him in it.
Wow, nice. Yeah.
And another thing too, and I lost the paper. I don't know what I did with it, but the Super Late Model Series has filled them 2 slots in too. Spokane is going to run.
Oh, they did decide to do it.
Spokane do it, and I can't remember the other
wow.
one. I'll have to go back and look. But
yeah. So anyway, the officials thing I'm done with. I was just bringing that to thinking that hey, there might be something down the road we could use, but
I think it's a great idea, and we should be having an officials meeting. It really is to let people know their duties and what we expect of them. So it's a great idea.
Yeah, and basically that's what it needs to be.
Yeah, you're not just there in the corner with a flag. You have a duty. You have a job.
Well, Chisholm says I expect same. LOL. If Amarillo had stayed square to the push, no wreck. He was still traveling lateral to the track when the bump occurred, sending him in the ditch.
Yeah, and I mean, but they were They did. I mean, they were on him by 5 miles an hour or better.
Oh yeah,
when they come up there. So it was in evidence. But it's just like they always say: where do you want to be on the last lap? You want to be in second place.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
The story. No, that guy in the lead never wins. He's going to get freight trained.
Well, and here's the deal: the class act that Amarillo is.
Yeah.
He says, "Guy's trying to win the Daytona 500." Now, had this happened on lap 25, different story.
Yeah, but they all say it. I mean, I watched the NASCAR show there, and Kevin Harvick even much said, "It's the Daytona 500. You do what you have to do to win."
Yeah,
end of story.
And that's one of the few times, really, last lap where unless you're just gonna physically hurt somebody, you kind of know that going in that could potentially happen. But how about Bubba Wallace though? In second, what? Yeah,
he drove a great race. He stayed out of trouble. I mean, he was close in a couple of them big wrecks, but he made it through them. I give him all the credit in the world.
Here we go.
Woohoo!
Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Seat, powered by Blue Line Graphics. Oh, man, I'm so glad we finally get him on the show because I've been trying to. He's always been busy. But he is a guy, he's one of the top 4-cycle engine builders in the country, or was, and now he's trying his hand at the UAS stuff, and it's the Titan Tim Lawrence. What's going on, Timmy?
Oh, not much. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing good.
Did you get to check any of the first part of the show?
I didn't. No, I didn't listen to the first part of it.
Well, you have to go back and listen. We were talking a little bit about officiating and some of that stuff, so you might find some of that interesting, I think. But
Yeah.
so let's get everybody up to date. So I want to know first. Like I told you yesterday, I thought you were a machinist, but you were actually an electrician, right?
Yeah, I'm an electrical contractor. So, yeah, electrician. We do commercial buildings, houses, basically anything electrical.
So how did the Lawrence racing engines deal get started?
Well, I got back into karts in 2009, and I ran shifters from late 90s, mid 90s till like 2000. Then I got out of karts and I started running circle track, like late models and modifieds.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I ran it for I think I ran modifieds for 5-6 years, and I ran late models for a couple, 2-3 years.
Did you like the late models?
I did. I struggled because the car I had wasn't the greatest car, but it was fun. But once I got into the modifieds, it was hands down. I love the modifieds.
Yeah.
Versus the late models. Oh yeah.
Now, was that on pavement or on dirt?
On pavement.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think was that just because you had a better car? You think, or?
No, just the way they drive. They drive different. You can get them kind of loose and sideways and still drive through it. The late models, it seems like, when you get them kind of crossed up, they're more of a handful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think because of the 10-inch slicks, it's just
not a whole lot of tire there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I did not know that. That's super cool.
Yeah, they're fun for sure. But I got back into the karts in 2009, and I always built engines before that. My dad built engines for like junior dragsters and go-karts, so I kind of learned from him. And then once I got back into karting, the 4-stroke stuff, I started doing my own engines, and it kind of took off from there, for that 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, dude, because you had a lot of hardware, at least in the few years that I was involved in it.
Yeah, because I ran it from 2009 till 2013. I think combined, like all the Duffys I had, all my engines with everybody that ran them, I think I had 16 or 18 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. It's no joke, man. Yeah, what did I think at Mac you had? You must have had 2 or 3 there at Mac. You had DeMars. You had. There was several you had there.
Yeah. I think the last year we ran at McMinnville. Yeah, we had 4 or 5. But Reading was the best year. 2011. We took home, I think, 8 or 9 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And people say, well, IKF was a little not in that class. It wasn't.
No, not for those 4 or 5 years.
That's right. That 4-stroke stuff was big.
Yeah. World Formula Heavy had like 25 or 28 in nationals. It was a huge class.
And they were no slouches. You had Lucas and Alan Cathy and
O'Rear.
Yeah, O'Rear. I remember, at Tri-Cities, that dude was like, he was unconscious.
Oh, yeah. No, there was a pretty stout field in every class, it seemed like. You know?
Yeah. You had the instructor from down there in Northern Cali. He always ran good.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah, there was, that whole, I would say there's probably 15 maybe, like top drivers, ran nationals every year.
Exactly. Do you miss it?
I do miss it. I just wish they had like, you know, the methanol animal and the limited modified in those classes. I would probably still do it, but now it's, you know, I think they have a couple gas animal classes and the rest are the LO206 deal, you know.
Well, you know what you need to do is you need to go and build you a couple and then head back east and go run your stuff against that stuff back there on the dirt.
Yeah, that's true. That's
right?
a good idea.
Because them boys run back there, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, they do.
You know, so that, I mean, talk about and how cool would that be? I mean, there's guys back there making a living, Tim, just racing go-karts. They're making $100,000 a year. Now that's not sure. Everybody, but that's there's several of them that. What did I think Phil Combs told me that Austin Yarborough made $129,000, bought himself a brand new Corvette and paid cash for it, and he's just a young kid.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Oh, I bet. Yeah, racing's, especially the dirt racing, it's huge.
It is.
You know.
Yeah. So, you know, hey, and it's the AKRA stuff. I think that's what's really big back there. So I don't know what the rules are or anything, but I'm sure you can build them a lot more than you can the stuff out here.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So from the pavement, I know they're cars and stuff, but coming from the pavement, now you jump into, well, it is kind of like jumping in a super late model when you go into a UAS car, but what was the biggest adjustment you had to make between the dirt and the pavement?
Oh, I don't know.
Or was there one?
No, it's not a huge deal. I mean, you're basically doing the same thing. You're trying to be as smooth as possible, but you know, driving wise, I didn't really struggle with that. It's just the whole tire deal, you know, trying to catch up with all the, you know, the guys that have been running it for a while. That was the biggest thing, you know, and we still haven't nailed the tires down. We're kind of slowly creeping up on it, you know, but that's the biggest learning curve, I think, is getting the right tires, you know, choosing the right tires, you know. Well, so when we had Chris from Track Tack on, did you listen to those episodes? Oh yeah, for sure. Did you listen to them? And did they help you? You know, we're kind of doing real close to what he was talking about, and then when Robbie Yao was on, I think a month before that or a couple weeks before that, you know, we've been doing that similar program that he was talking about. So we're on, you know, after listening to him, I felt pretty good that we're on the right track, you know. Yeah. Well, you know, the biggest thing I took away from that deal was he said, do something and stick with it, because you'll eventually get it, right? I mean, if you're jumping around doing this and that and this and over here and not doing it, and that's kind of what I took away from it was get something you're going to try, do it for a while to where you can learn it, you can find out if you're really getting consistent results, and then decide if it's you maybe want to change something or whatever. But no, yeah, that's true, because starting out, I mean, we were trying this and that and this and that, and once we just focused on, you know, 5 preps and just stuck with that, you know, we kind of figured out what works and what doesn't. But I think the biggest thing is choosing, you know, what durometer to go with, you know, when you hit the track, you know. It's a whole nother art, isn't it? Oh yeah. It's crazy how, especially like Stansberry and, you know, all those guys, they've got it pretty nailed down on what to go with for, you know, for tire, for durometer and this and that. And, you know, that's where we're still learning on. Do you think you can overthink that? Do you think you can overthink that? I believe you can. Yeah, you probably can, yeah. Lippi says no. Why?
Well, I say no because it's an education deal. Once you figure out a track surface, you can spot it from a mile away. But until you learn track surface, Yeah, it is a guessing game. Definitely a guessing game. But once you understand the track and know the surface that you're going to be dealing with, no, it's easy, but it's a hard learn to learn a track for sure. And that's any track. So
Yeah. We haven't. I'm not that good where I can look at the track and say, "Oh, I need this," or I need that. But it's just trial and error for me going out there. Okay, these tires are too soft. These tires are too hard.
That's right, because even if you do go ask somebody, you don't know if they're going to tell you the real deal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're competing against them. I mean,
everybody's got a different cart, different weights, different engine package, different driving style. So what, the guy next to us says works great, it might not work, for what you're running. That's the thing,
Absolutely.
Well, now, I can't remember the year. I think it was BK5, maybe it was 6. You started 6th on the grid with a limited. It was a modified animal, right?
Yeah, it was like an open animal, yeah.
But the problem with that was you were struggling trying to get that thing to live, right? Going through head gaskets or something.
Oh yeah, I was blowing head gaskets left and right, and it just the maintenance on it was built so to the limit that it was a constant maintenance. As soon as we come off the track, we got to change the oil and do this and do that, and I didn't have time to focus on anything but the engine,
Yeah.
So that's why we went to the 450s, where you come off the track and it's like put gas in it and you're done, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did that? But that modified ran pretty good, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Yeah, it made a lot of horsepower.
How much did it make?
I would say upper 40s, lower 50s for
Jeez.
horsepower.
Yeah.
For a pressure washer motor?
Yeah.
I love them
But
animals.
it had a ton of compression. I mean,
Yeah.
It was just built so radical to keep up with.
What's a ton?
Almost 15 to 1.
Jeez.
I was going to say
It did
14.
sound like a beast, man. I think I've still got some film that I got on just hot laps right down by the edge of the track, and boy, when he come by there, that thing was just a thumping. Oh,
Singing. That's it. Singing.
Put it back on a pressure washer and blow the house apart.
wow, yeah. So, what are your thoughts about the UAS now that you've had? I mean, because you had a really, really good run at the Nationals. I mean, that was the quietest second place I think I've ever seen.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we kind of got lucky on that whole deal because we were having engine issues down there. In qualifying, we actually lost the carburetor on the second lap. So I came off the track thinking we're 15th or 18th. So we push it back to the trailer, and we had to swap engines. And my mom actually texted me, said, "You're sitting in second." I'm like, "Well, I think you're mistaken. You must have misheard him, So we're swapping engines, and then I go look at the board, and I end up third, I think, in qualifying, which they took the top 4 straight to the A main, which helped us out because we wouldn't have made the heat races if it wasn't for that,
Wow.
So we kind of lucked out qualifying so well, but yeah, I was happy. I was going to be happy finishing the top 10, at an event like that, ever been on that track before.
Well, I was reading something somewhere, and a guy says he never. I think it was in Circle Track. One of the guys back there, he says he never says, "Well, all I want to do is finish in the top 10," because he says if you don't, you're disappointed. So he just doesn't do that. He doesn't put any limit. Did you read it?
Yeah.
He doesn't put any limit on where he's gonna finish. He just goes out there and does the best he can and is tickled with wherever he's at. And I thought that was kind of an interesting point.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
But you ran good all night though. Even I don't know if anybody had anything for Diotti. He was pretty good, but
he was
he was money.
He was rolling. Yeah, there was no doubt.
Yeah. Although Berg come up through there, I mean he had some issues with
Height?
No,
is it Robert Height?
No, it was who's the big family that scores?
Yeah, that would be High.
Oh, High.
High.
Yeah, it was High. Yeah.
Is it high or height?
It's high, H-I-G-H.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fast.
He was
really
fast.
Yep.
He
Yeah,
was
he
fast.
was fast.
Yep. So you ran second all night, but I don't think you were challenged really ever for second, were you?
No, I mean, Ronnie got by me on, I don't know, lap 6 or 7. That's what made his side panel come off. But
you're the one that caused it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Is that what they call side drafting?
Yeah. Did you guys touch or something?
Well, yeah, I came off of 4, and I got into the gas too early and kind of shoved the nose, so I had to get out of it. Well, going into 1, I dove down. Well, you can't hardly see anybody when you're in these carts. So I dove down, and all of a sudden he was there, and we touched. And then I instantly see the side panel pop off and was flapping. And I don't think he saw it for several laps until the flagger kind of pointed it out. But I felt bad, because I didn't think they were going to black flag him for that deal. But it was kind of
I'm surprised he didn't go up like to the wall and try to crash it and break it off under a yellow or something, But.
Something, yeah. But I don't know what he's got for panel, but they're pretty stout.
They're bolted now, I think, or riveted now. I don't think there's a Zeus anymore, but
no, I looked at it at the BK this couple months ago, and they're bolted. They're not. I don't think they're Zeused on there anymore. But.
No, I think he would have welded them on for the BK. Wow, man. So are you enjoying the stint though in the UAS? I mean, were you happy with BK and stuff?
Oh yeah, I was definitely happy. Yeah, I've been happy ever since we got this new cart. I mean, this new cart just handles a lot better. Plus, we're learning tires. I mean, that's between the both of them, we've picked up a lot of speed for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just anxious to get that first win. That's what's bothering me.
Well, Lippi said something. He's not a big fan of those noses. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't like the looks of them, but I think they do put a lot of downforce, on the nose. But as far as the looks, I like the say nose better. Looks of the say nose.
Well, I don't know. I've seen a couple of pictures of your ride. It looks pretty dope to me, but
yeah, no, it's a good looking nose, but I had to cut the square out of the front of it to get your feet to fit. I mean, that was the only bad thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's air conditioning, isn't it? for them
yeah,
hot
exactly.
days.
Yeah.
Get air flowing through.
Wow. So, are you going to run a full series then this summer? I mean, you're going to make all the quarter point events and stuff?
That's my plan. I'm waiting for what is it? The NorCal UAS. They've got some races. They've got scheduled, so I want to hit maybe a couple of those, and then some in the Northwest. But I want to hit like 3 or 4.
Are you going
this year
back to Pennsylvania?
No, it's too far. Hopefully next year it's in somewhere closer, like the Midwest or somewhere. I would definitely go.
I don't. Ernie Conference talking about. He's thinking there'll be close to 100 guys there this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a doozy because, I mean, that's kind of where everything was invented, was back there. So there'll be a boatload of. This will probably be one of the biggest UAS nationals in a long time. According to Ernie, he said I wouldn't be surprised if we get 100 guys there. But
yeah, there's a lot in I think New York and Pennsylvania.
Boy, that would be cool to go.
Oh, it would be.
I know. I'm going to try to do everything I can to get back. That's going to be a show.
Hey, Tim, JP says your win's coming. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just I can feel it coming. It's just slowly getting there.
We know it is, and it's a tough class. That's why you're in it. That's why you're chasing, is because it is a tough class, and it's an innovative class. You can pretty much do what you want to try and get there, and that's half the fun. So you guys are definitely capitalizing on all that stuff. I also have to say, you're a hell of a competitor. You came over a couple weekends before the BK just to shake your stuff down and break in a motor, and you spent half your time working on somebody else's motor that wasn't even yours, and that's a real tribute to who you are and what you do. That you just step right in and get after it and help somebody else out, and that's what makes you so good.
Well, I
Truly.
appreciate that for sure. Yeah. No, I love helping people,
It's obvious.
Yeah.
Well, that's what our sport is about, especially the UAS guys. I mean, I've never seen a bunch of super talented competitors that basically, for the most part, they free share information. I mean, you go find anything else that competitive, and man, it's lock, stock, and barrel. I'm not telling you nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a West Coast thing, though. You'll see the difference when you hit the East Coast. We will be thrown out of pits, I'm sure.
Brian says that you roll with nothing but class, and he loves having BLG on the side of the 16 machine.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, it's a tough class. I mean, I've raced a lot of different stuff, and I have to say the UAS it's got to be up there with the, just all the stuff that goes on. It's involved in the karts, and you can't do it with one guy. You can't do it by yourself.
You can't.
To be competitive, there's no way. You have to have at least one other guy. Two.
Two. It's almost to the point of two. I mean, I think it's too much for just a guy in a pit crew. I mean, you almost can't do it. You gotta have a whole. I mean, I remember when Diotti you were there when he showed up the very first time at BK6. I mean, I remember coming back thinking, dude, that's like a Winston Cup operation. They had tire guys and they had engine guys, and I'm thinking these guys are like what, But
oh yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, you've got to have at least two guys, to do it right. It's that much. There's that much stuff going on to do it. Do it by yourself.
That's a fact. And before I let you go, what I do remember is I remember the first time I ever saw you roll. It was at a Gold Cup at Pat's Acres. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, you were off in the grass. You were killing it, man. Yeah,
I remember that.
I was like, man, this dude is all right, man. He was rolling. Yep. That's cool stuff. Well, hey, Tim, thanks for being on the show, man. And dude, Brian hit it on the head, man. I know anytime I've ever associated with you, man, you're just a super, super good dude and super classy and always just down to earth and you're just a good guy. So I know I appreciate you a lot, man, a lot.
No, I appreciate that for sure.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, thanks for being on. And when's the first race for you?
I'm not sure. I'm still looking at the schedules for the different series, but yeah, I'll let you know for sure.
So if somebody wants to come and help you, they're more than happy to. You'll be more than happy to let them come and help, right?
Yeah, you want to come help?
Yeah, hey, I might. If I'm not announcing, I might do that.
The only thing I know is blue Gatorade. I don't have nothing.
Yeah, blue Gatorade.
Well, Ronnie hired me. I was a driver for him. I drove them to Lodi and back in 24 hours. So,
damn.
Yeah, we got with it. Well, right on, Tim, man. Thanks a lot, man, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Okay, sounds good, Terry.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tim Lawrence, everybody. What a great guy.
Definitely top shelf.
A great guy. Well, before we let you go, we got a couple more rounds to go. So next up is who's going to be the longest? Oh, Lippi. We're going to go with Lip.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lapping with Lippi, brought to you by Scott Seal Coat. For all your sealing and striping needs, get a hold of Scott Seal Coat. We can stripe it or seal it. Whatever your needs are, just give Scott Seal Coat a call, and we'll make it happen.
I kind of like that hard rock.
I definitely like the hard rock, and if you are looking for employment, get a hold of Scott. He's lost a few of his dedicated crew and is looking to build his family. So if you want a good job that you bust your butt but make good money, give Scott a call. He's looking for some dedicated people. So
I'm just after the good money.
well, yeah. I'm not. So I'm through busting my butt. So anyways, this is part of my rant from last week. It's close, but still, I'm really getting after the kids nowadays. And if I had more time, I would go into this even further than I am. This is something that I picked up this week online. I didn't see it a lot of places, but I saw it a few places. 10 rules, and this is for kids. You might want to write this down if it's a mom and dad and post it on their door. Life is not fair. Get used to it. It's just the way it is, folks. The world won't care about your self-esteem. It truly won't, people. The world will expect you to accomplish something before you get your self-esteem. So basically, you've got to do something. You can't just assume it. You can't just get it. You have to do something to get it. So, number 3, you will not make $60,000 a year out of high school. I'm just breaking that to you right now. It's not going to happen. You won't be the president or the vice president, have your own car and your own phone in the first year. It's just not going to happen. It's not. It's not the way the world works. If you think your teacher's tough now, wait till you meet your boss. Just telling you.
Ooh.
I've had some rough ones, folks. It's not fun. It's not easy. And it's not meant to be. It's life. We have to live it. So get used to it. Flipping burgers is not beneath your dignity. Your grandparents had a different word for burger flipper. It was called opportunity or stepping stone. Everybody's got to start somewhere. And burger flipping might be it. You got to have responsibility. You've got to get up and get there. You've got to have it. So, sometimes it's flipping burgers. So figure it out, folks. Get your way in there and get your flipper and start flipping. Been there, done that. Actually, it was hot dogs, but still. I've been there. Okay, so if you mess up, it's not your parents' fault. It's truly not. So don't whine about it or, make mistakes. It's just how you learn. You learn from your mistakes. And it's not your parents' fault. It's up to you to figure out what you did and fix it and not do it again. So think about that. Take responsibility. Figure out what you did. Don't do it again. That's the easiest way.
That's what you do at the racetrack, too.
This all kind of equates to that. I know it's not all about racing with this one, but it is about life in general. Before you were born, your parents weren't that boring. They really weren't. They had a lot of fun, did a lot of things, probably some of the things you're doing. But they got to pay your bills. They got to clean your clothes. And listen to you talk about how cool you thought you were. So, before you save the rainforest or, go out and start a new generation or whatever you're going to do, just be thankful your parents are as boring as they are right now.
Fact. Fact.
Because they made what you are. So think about that before you go thinking about what they are or aren't right now, because a lot of times they were way cooler than you are. So let's see here. Your school, let's see, where's it at here? Your school may have done away with winners and losers. This is a big one for me. Oh, man. But life has not done away with winners and losers. In some schools, they have abolished failing grades, and they'll give you as many tries as you want to answer that question right. This doesn't bear any resemblance of real life at all, kids. At all. You don't get numerous tries. You don't get all the answers. You just have to memorize them. It's up to you to figure it out. It's up to you to do your homework. It's up to you to make you and figure out the right answers. And it's not always going to be right. But as long as you don't keep making the same mistake, it will be a right answer eventually. So just stay after it. Life is long, even though everybody says it's short. Life is long, and learn to live. Number 9 on my list. Life is not divided into semesters. Ooh, oh my. You don't get the summer off, especially if you're an employee. It's year-round, folks. So stay invested, stay up front, do your job, learn your job, and you'll last a long time at your job. And number 10, and I really hate to break this to you, television is not, I repeat, not real life.
It isn't?
In real life, people actually have to leave the coffee shop to go to jobs. So just put that in your hat, folks, and live with that, because these are real life rules.
Hey, Clark, family racing, Lippi for president.
Yeah, Lippi for president. Okay, folks, so I've been really rough on you for the last couple of weeks.
Daryl Kelso wants to know if you pay for relocation. Kevin Bridges says no burgers for this guy. I pump gas. Yeah. I did too. Gas station.
So there you have it, folks. I've been pretty rough on you, but
Scott Keeney's voting for you for president. You got one.
I'm giving up on this. I'm not going to ride your hind end anymore. I will give you a little tidbit on what's coming up after this. We're going to start chassis coming up next week. We're going to start chassis. I'm going to try and get a hold of each and every one of the top chassis builders and get them to come on to the show. I've got a commitment right now for starting off next week. Brandon from Titan Chassis is going to be on talking to us about Titan Chassis. So we're going to start there, and we're going to work our way through the field. As many of them that'll talk to me, we will be talking to them. Starting next week. So
that's awesome. And before we go to the loader segment, I want everybody to know, get on Ernie Confer's site. He has done some really cool stuff for the UAS. They're going to be running Friday nights with the boy, I forgot the name of it too. The short track dealio. And you need to go to Ernie Confer's site. CONFER, Ernie Confer, and check out the and I'll post one up on the Northwest Race Report page, but I think it's on there. It's either on Terry Bridges or the Northwest Race Report one. But go check that out. Man, you talk about some exposure. It's going to be awesome. They're going to be running, full packed house on the Friday nights. They're going to be the support class for these guys. Their ATVs and whatnot, and it's just going to be awesome. So a big shout out to Ernie Confer for busting his hump and getting the UAS some good stuff there.
Nice.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to be going up here to the loader. So give me a minute here. There we go.
We're tracking and packing around the Northwest with the loader, Jeff Eden.
I love that.
Well, got some highlights of different tracks in some of their bigger races. We're going to start out with Wenatchee Valley. Their Spring Sizzler, which is the April 14th. Right now, they got 21 late models that are pre-entered.
Ooh.
Yeah, some Alan Kress, Jan and Stephanie.
And will the champ be there?
Their name wasn't on there yet. So I don't think it's not one of those.
It's not a super late model event?
It's not a super late model. So Garber, there's a pretty good
some
pretty
good
list. So
yeah. Good stuff.
That's a good one to go to. The 28th will be the Leonard Evans 150, which is the Northwest Super Late Model race.
That's April 28th?
That is April 28th.
Ooh.
And then
Guess who isn't filming that one?
me. Oh, May 19th, they'll have the Wesco Wing Sprint Cars there, which is, from my understanding, is one heck of a show.
Yeah. Yep.
I might even venture that way, being by that time I'll be
Retarded.
And then on June 1st and 2nd, they got the Monsters in the Valley, which will be the Monster Trucks 2-day. They got a 2-day show that they say it just packs that place.
Yeah. That's a good deal. That's a good draw, really. I mean, that's what UAS needs to do with some monster truck stuff.
Monster trucks.
Get the draw there and then make them wait.
Then we'll, and after that, they got what they call Thunder in the Valley. It'll be sprint cars, non-sprints. The Northwest Ford Focus midgets are going to run on the pavement that race.
Have you seen the list that they got?
Oh my God,
it's huge!
Yeah,
and what a great job. I mean, hey, and our own AJ Fugit is running a Northwest Ford Focus midget now.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, man,
guy's a wheel.
AJ, yeah, be interested to see how he does.
And yeah, and it's going to be interesting. I'd like to know how many of them are actually going to go to the pavement to run.
Are they going to run one on the pavement?
Yeah, the Thunder in the Valley, they're going to have the Ford Focus midgets.
Dude, I want to go to that. That's going to be dope right there. My pick, Shane Biles on the pavement.
I don't think that. Well, I know Renee said she wasn't running, so.
Oh, then Shane's probably not either.
And then July 28th will be the Jerry Bushhauser Memorial, which is the pro late models, and they'll be running like twin 150s.
So Tristan will be there, and probably, or
I don't know whether he's going to or not. He was those on his schedule had the little asterisks behind it, and if we got the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 22nd, 23rd, we got the Fall Shindig, which is the Northwest Super Late Model final race of the year, which will be a 2-day race. So they'll be qualifying one day. I think B mains are running, then they'll run the A mains on the next day.
Man, awesome.
And I haven't got the Evergreen schedule yet. Their website and me just don't get along, but I will get it.
Oh, no problem.
Then we're going to move over to the dirt side to Front Time Promotions. Their first race of the year is going to be April 5th, 6th, and 7th over at Yakima at the fairgrounds. It's nicknamed the Yakadega race. Everybody calls it the Talladega of dirt tracks. It's a big track. It's got big sweeping corners, and those guys fly on it. The 5th will be a practice day, and then they'll be running the 6th and the 7th, and that'll be the Summer Thunder Sprint Cars and the Washington Modified Tour. So there'll be the mods and the sprinters there.
That's awesome.
And then as they get to Skagit, we're going to have on the 26th of May will be the John Carroll Classic, which is John was one of the big supporters of everything there at Skagit, and with a big fireworks show. On the 16 will be the Big Rigs. That place just goes bananas over them big trucks. It's pretty crazy. Then the next weekend, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd is a Jim Memorial Dirt Cup, which is an ASCS National Tour race. You'll have all the top ASCS drivers will be there. Last year, I think they had 46 or 47 cars.
Wow, full house.
It's a huge race.
And where's that one at?
That's at Skagit.
Oof.
And then 7, 13, and 14 is the Northwest Truck and Tractor Pull. It's kind of a new event that they're trying to put on, which could be interesting. Some of them toters are pretty impressive.
Very respectful.
July 27th and 28th is the Bob's Burger and Brews Summer Nationals. That's 2 days of, there'll be 360s, and then they run the limited sprints, and I think the midgets are there at that one too. And then on the 18th and 19th of August, they're running the Monster Slam, which monster trucks for 2 days. The 31st And the 1st of September is the World of Outlaws. And I think this year they're using the Ford Focus Midgets as their support class.
Good
Wow.
pick. Good pick.
And then the 21st and 22nd it's at the Yakima again, at the Yakima State Fair. It's probably one of the cooler things to see at night, because the cars are coming out of turn 4, and like say they're coming to take the flag, and you look across and there's the cars and there's the Ferris wheel and all the lights from the fair.
That's pretty cool.
It is. It's really cool.
Nice atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy. So then we'll go over to Grays Harbor, and on the 6th or June 29th and 30th will be the Fred Brownfield Classic, and that is 2 days for the ASCS Nationals. So they'll go to Skagit, and then they come on down the road to Grays Harbor, and that'll be the 360s and the Ford Focus Midgets on that one. July 27th and 28th is the Northwest Modified Nationals and the Dwarf Car Nationals. So that's a big 2-day race for both of them. Last year the Modifieds had I think 45, and there was like 55 of the Dwarf cars there.
Nice.
Yeah, very.
It's a good crowd, though.
Oh yeah, it was. The 8th of August, or I mean the 11th of August, is the fair race, which is street stocks, tuners, and modifieds. And if you go to the fair, admission to the racetrack's free.
Hey, there you go.
So,
make your way out there, folks.
And so that's pretty cool. Then they got on the August 17th and 18th. It's kind of a split deal, but the Sportsman Sprints are running a speed week this year. So they'll be there for the 17th, 18th, and then the 18th, the big rigs are going to show up and race with them. So that'll be a standing room only crowd. The 9-2 will be the Summer Thunder Sprints Modifieds and the Ford Focus Midgets. 9-3 World of Outlaws. And if you've never seen them guys, I tell you what, it's really, really worth it, because there ain't nothing like them.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 15th and 16th of September is Monster Slam. The monster trucks will be in for 2 days. So
there you have it. Plan your summer, folks.
And then next week we'll have a little evergreen. Oh, I do have a little bit from South Sound. They're running super late models April 21st, 100 lapper, May 5th, 100 lapper, May 19th, 100 lapper. June 2nd, the Northwest super late models will be there for their tour race. 16th will be super late model 100. Here's the one I'm going to go watch. June 30th, full impact demo derby. And a tuner car 150.
Woohoo!
I want to see how many of them are running into one.
Crash and 150.
Hey, this was that info on they're going to be running with the Northeast Extreme Dirt Track Championship Series. The UAS will be a new exhibition class during their Friday night short track nationals. So there it is right there. The Unlimited All-Stars and the Junior Unlimited All-Stars will both be in action. And that's going to be cool. Brand new exposure. So if you have any questions, feel free to call Ernie Kahn for 716-397-0479. They open up April 20th at Busco Beach and the ATV Park in Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Wow.
That's big stuff, man. That's the
exposure.
ATV stuff. So, you know, that's going to be a good crowd to have. Not car guys, but more where we're going. And Jan Wired says, note to self, 450 will be hard to start with a sheared flywheel key.
Understandable.
Very understandable.
Yes.
I see here that Dominic Cameron might be.
He's the instructor there that learn how to ride things. Is that on the 24th?
5th.
That's next Sunday, folks. So if you got bikes, the flat tracker, Dominic Cameron, we had him on a show here a couple weeks ago, and he'll be giving a class. What does it say? They're safety and...
Yeah, safety and riding tips, and bring your bike and or use one of ours. It says.
And I think a can of food or 3 cans of food gets you in.
Yeah, I think it's 3 cans of food.
Yeah. So and that's going to be at Castle Rock. So stop on by there and check that out.
Yeah, or shake my hand.
Are you going to be there?
I am.
Sunday?
I am.
Or is it because the crew's going down to look at it, or
Right. We were supposed to go down there last weekend to finalize our deal and our dates with them, but we got snowed out because the club president lives in Central Oregon, so he was not able to make it up. So we are rescheduling for this weekend, Sunday.
Sweet. So the Cascade Karting Association will be out there at Castle Rock, as well as Dominic Cameron. So that's good. We'll have a rep out there.
Yep, we'll be there.
I see where the young man won his first pro race there the other night.
Yep, at Salem. Yeah, he's a stud. He's going to be pretty darn good, I'll tell you.
He is up and coming.
And the last one I got for South Sound, which I still got a couple more to go, is the why am I losing my brain?
It's that short timers thing.
It's the Westroads 126.
Oh yeah.
Late model.
That's going to be a good one.
That'll be a great show.
Note to self, don't leave 1 lap early.
This happens
Because everything else will happen, right? I did that, and it was like, holy cow, I'm reporting the thing all done, and no. There was a caution.
And the wrong winner.
In the wrong winner. I mean, that was nuts. Boy, good stuff. So Jeffrey got all the schedule and stuff. Do you think, can you post that on the page? Or is that too much typing?
Might be too much typing for me.
Take a picture. Check for it. We'll post it up there on the NWR page so you guys can check that out.
Well, try to get full schedules for everybody. There's some people don't, want to see the other stuff, and these are highlights.
Oh yeah, that's cool though. But if people want it,
big bad ones.
Yeah. So Lippi's going to have a new deal on chassis next week. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're going to try and talk to all the big builders and, know what's new, know what tricks you need to know, just know what we can know about what they got.
Awesome. So you definitely want to tune in for that one. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to take a little while to go through them, but I think it'll be fun.
It will be fun. It will be fun. That's what we do, right?
It is.
As we bring knowledge and integrity and performance and...
Brandon at Titan Chassis got a good deal going on right now, or if you like him on Facebook, you can get into their program. You can buy, lately he's been raffling off chassis. You can buy a raffle ticket and get in on a chassis, and if he draws your number, you get a free chassis for just a raffle ticket.
Can't beat that.
So, hey, yeah.
They got any XX large ones? Chassis.
That'd be worth putting a raffle ticket in. How much are the raffle tickets?
I'm not sure. I think they were going for $20, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Maybe we get a free one for being on the show. We put it in there. We can get a NWRR.
Better than lottery.
Better chance, anyway.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Scott Kinney said he would vote for you.
I appreciate that, but I am not running for anything.
We took you a little bit over, guys. Sorry about that. Next week, going to be cool stuff. So... look for us. Salem Speedway this weekend. Mike Michelson, Double M, going to be in action as the dwarfs are there. Hopefully it doesn't snow too bad and get everybody all screwed up, I mean, that's what's the bummer, But
is the Focuses and everything else running down there?
Yeah,
too?
Shane Biles and the midgets will be there. And
he might even bring Renee?
Yeah, he might.
Nice.
Yeah, Brianna Bostrom might be there. Whole bunch of good wheels and whatnot. So,
sweet.
Salem Speedway. If you get down there and get a chance.
Queen Bee,
will she be there? I don't. You were talking to her. I don't know. Hopefully,
they're
going to go to the practice, probably, huh?
Well, they're going to run that. They're not running the new kart indoor. The new kart's just be for outdoor.
Oh, okay.
So they're running the old kart indoors, the way I understood it.
Well, we'll see if Michelson can get 3 in a row.
Wow.
That'd be 3 in a row. So we'll see.
And he was just going to have fun with that. He wasn't even going to try and be competitive.
Yeah.
Right.
Never happens. Hey, appreciate everybody, all the support. Make sure you're with us next week. We got Brandon from Is it Charger chassis?
No, it's Titan.
Titan chassis. Make sure you're here. That's going to be awesome stuff. Somebody's on the bottom, Jeffrey. Where do you got to go?
To the high side.
To the high side. We love you. See you next week, everybody.